Hi everyone, welcome to the last day of my blog party, and you may have noticed that I have little green ears sticking out of my head. This is my attempt at making up for the fact that I feel terrible and I probably look terrible. I got a migraine this afternoon and it's a really bad one. I've left work about 3 o'clock and it's a little after 5 now. I've been laying down for the last hour and a half trying to sleep it off or get rid of it. I feel a little better, but still pretty bad. I thought about not doing this video, but since I wasn't able to do it last night, I had planned to do it tonight. So even though I feel terrible, I'm going ahead and doing it. So I'm going to give you one last sneak peek at Troy High, which the official pub date is tomorrow, Saturday, August 1st, but it is already in stores and on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. So you can, if you're interested in getting it, you can go out to your local bookstore and see if you can find it, or you can order it online. And I have all the links to it, to different stores, on my website, shananorris.com. If you're in the UK, I also have a link to W.H. Smith's website where you can also order it from. So today I'm going to read a scene that involves one of the pranks that goes on between the schools. I had a lot of fun thinking up pranks. This isn't my favorite prank in the book, but I wanted to save my favorite prank for you reading it, my favorite prank is one that's played against Troy by Iliad, and it involves something in the school cafeteria, which if you read the book you'll find out what it is. That one was a lot of fun thinking up and trying to describe what happens without getting too gross. But anyway, this prank was fun too. So I'm just going to read you a scene talking about it. And I'll stop babbling now and go ahead and read. Don't forget to read chapters 4 and 5 in Of Mice and Men, Mr. Sales said as the bell rang and students jumped from their seats. I can't make any promises, but there just may be a quiz on the reading. So take my advice and be prepared. See you all tomorrow. I shoved my English book into my backpack, along with my copy of Mice and Men, and slung my backpack over my shoulder. Elena said, like we don't have anything else to do other than read books for English class. I have cheerleading practice every day this week. Yeah, I said, only half listening. I couldn't get my mind off Greg. I had been thinking about him ever since I'd gotten his email. It had been 2 weeks since we'd talked. We'd never gone this long without speaking. I missed him, I thought, as I stepped into the hall. I missed our all-day video game sessions and jokes, and at night I dreamed about kissing him again. I woke from those dreams sweating and out of breath. A shriek from around the corner startled me out of my thoughts. The shriek turned into several screams and then squawks. Squawks? Like birds? The people in front of me jumped out of the way, and a flash of brown feathers flew at me, wings flapping. Elena and I screamed and ducked, covering our heads. When I managed to lift my head up to see what was happening, I spotted a chicken running through the hall behind me. More squawks made me turn around, and I saw several chickens, some white and others brown, dashing around legs and backpacks and running through the halls of Troy High. Catch them, someone yelled. A few of the guys were brave enough to dive at the chickens, but the birds flapped their wings and leaped out of their grasp. Now the shrieks and squawks were joined by shouts as the chickens tried to get away. How did chickens get into the school? Elena cried, her eyes wide. I had a sudden thought and pushed through the crowd toward the front doors. I managed to get outside and hurried down the steps, scanning the parking lot. There, on the road, Lucas's car turned the corner, following an old, rusty pickup truck full of metal cages. It took teachers and students 2 hours to catch all the chickens. When they were done and someone had been called to come pick them up, the hall was littered with textbooks, paper, feathers, and chicken droppings. It took another hour for maintenance to clean up and scrub the floors. An emergency assembly had been arranged that afternoon in the school auditorium. The entire student population was forced to attend. Miss Fillmore, the Troy High principal, stood on stage behind a large wooden podium. She looked over the crowd, eyeing all of us for a long time before she began speaking. As I'm sure most of you are aware, there has been a rash of pranks played between our school and Iliad High, she said, her voice echoing throughout the room. Iliad sucks, someone yelled. A bunch of people laughed and cheered. Miss Fillmore stared at us again, waiting until everyone had grown silent before she continued. These pranks are against school policy, she said. The destruction of school property is punishable by law. Let me warn all of you that pranks are not condoned and will not be tolerated. The guilty parties will be punished when they are caught, and believe me, they will be caught. I also must warn you, Miss Fillmore said, that fights at school games will not be tolerated. Visitors to our premises, even visitors from another school, are to be considered our guests while they are here, and we will all treat them with respect and courtesy. Any student caught fighting on school grounds will face suspension. If anyone knows anything about the incidents of the last few weeks, please do not hesitate to come see me, she went on. My office is always open, and you will remain anonymous. Any information you can provide to help us stop these pranks and punish the offenders will be appreciated. She stared around the room again, as if waiting for someone to speak up and confess to the pranks right then. I shifted in my seat as her eyes passed over me. Thank you all, Miss Fillmore said at last. You may return to your classes. The room erupted into talk and laughter as everyone stood and started toward the doors. I hung back, walking slowly in the crowd. The administration office was right outside the auditorium. Through the open door, I could see the school secretary inside, sitting in front of her computer. Behind her was Miss Fillmore's office. I stared at the door, chewing my lower lip. I could tell Miss Fillmore everything. I could make it stop. I would get Greg into trouble. I would get my brothers into trouble. Even I would get into trouble. I hitched my backpack farther up my shoulder and looked at Miss Fillmore's office again. Then I turned and headed back to class. So, that's just one of the pranks that happens between the two high schools in my story, Troy and Iliad. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you've enjoyed these sneak peeks at Troy High. As I said, the official pub date is tomorrow, August 1st. If you're in Eastern North Carolina, I am doing my first book signing for Troy High on Saturday, August 8th, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Book Depot at Vernon Park Mall in Kinston. So if you're in the area, I hope you'll come and join us. And I just wanted to show, if you hadn't seen this yet, the back cover of Troy High. I love this back cover. It's got the lockers and then vandalism on the lockers. I think Amulet Books did a great job designing this book. And I really love this too, which is a little Troy High logo with the Trojan horse that they made for me. So I'm very, very happy about how this book turned out, and I'm very excited to find out what everyone thinks about it, and I can't believe that the release date is actually here. So my animals are coming to see me. You might have just heard Chloe shake, and if you've heard other noises while I've been reading, that was Daisy walking all around, my other dog. She's now laying down now that I'm near the end of my video. But so anyway, I feel terrible. I'm going to go lay back down again after I upload this video. I hope you've enjoyed my little Shrek ears, and I hope that made up for me looking like crap. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the official pub date. I may get a video up, or I may just post a blog entry. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I don't really have anything else left to say. So I hope you enjoyed Troy High, and I would love to hear what you think of it when you read it. And so that's it. Thank you for joining my blog party this month. Good night and bye.